right, guys. I have a very special guest in here today. None other than my boy Doug Adams, aka Brooklyn Farms.
Yeah.
New Brooklyn
Welcome to the
Farms.
show.
New Brooklyn Farms. Let's get it right. Let's get it
My
right.
bad. My
Hey, you good?
bad.
You good? You good? You good?
New Brooklyn, New Brooklyn Farms. Don't get it
Boom.
twisted.
Please don't get it twisted.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
The champ is here. The champ is here.
So listen, Doug, I'm really happy that you're on the show. Definitely, was looking forward to this for a little while. I know that you were gone for a little bit, but we got back together and we're able to do this interview today, which is dope, So basically I want you to, basically tell people, what you do exactly, what service you provide, and a little bit of your background and vision.
Yeah, for sure. Honored to be on the platform tonight. Got a lot of respect for what you built, the Champ is Here show. And we go back, Kev. It's a pleasure to see you kind of blossoming in life, man, in all facets. So my name is Doug Adams. I'm the founder of New Brooklyn Farms. It's an urban farm green event space based in Mount Rainier, Maryland, which is my hometown, just about a couple blocks outside of Washington, D.C. Um, Basically, what New Brooklyn Farms is one part the urban farm and green event space physical location and space. And then it's also one part a, a green lifestyle brand and community. The premise, the story behind it is I purchased a quarter acre vacant lot next to the house I grew up in Mount Rainier, Maryland, in 2016, just as an investment. I was just trying to figure out ways that I could make it productive because I wasn't really trying to build a house at the time. And I did some research on, what a small time farm operation would look like, what it would take to get that started, and the rest is history. Along the way, I've maintained a career in finance and lived in Brooklyn, New York. So that's where the inspiration for the name New Brooklyn Farms comes from. And right now, I'm currently working in finance for an indoor farming startup, one of the leaders in the industry called Aero Farms. So I live and work in Brooklyn, New York, and I operate the New Brooklyn Farms business from afar, more so from a strategic, director kind of level. I work with a lot of community members to make that all happen. And yeah, so that's me in a nutshell.
That's dope. That's dope.
That
And
Now I see the new. Now I see why it has to be new. The new
Yeah,
Brooklyn. It's not
exactly.
actual
yeah.
Brooklyn. Okay.
Exactly.
then he's someplace else, obviously.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
all right. So that's awesome. And I know that farming is not the sexiest topic, but it is also a topic that I believe is very necessary. I believe the three things in life that every person should know is swimming, driving, and farming. And I believe those three things every person should strive to, put, in their repertoire or their tool belt to know how to do. So, Doug, can you tell us, what are your biggest barriers? Because I know owning land and, farming and stuff comes with a little red tape. So, what are your biggest barriers, coming into this whole farming journey, and what things that you had to overcome?
Definitely. So number one, it always from in most things in life, unfortunately, we live in a capitalist world. It's always about money. So the capital aspect of acquiring the land and getting it financed was definitely the number one biggest barrier. Um, so when it comes to buying land, many people don't know, but it's really tough to find bank financing or traditional financing like a mortgage for just vacant land if it doesn't have a house sitting on it, because the bank looks at it as a high risk investment or loan, because
Yeah.
if you default on that loan, they can't come and seize a house. It's just vacant space. So that's why many banks don't deal with financing vacant land unless it's like in a really high value area that's going to be and they expect development to happen. So in my case, it was just a neighborhood. So I searched around, shopped around credit unions, all different types of commercial banks. Nobody would give me the financing for it. So what I ended up doing was coming back to the owner and saying, "Look, I'm just, I really do want to do this deal with you. I have my down payment, but I can't find a bank to finance this. Do you have any lenders in your network that you could refer me to?" And basically, what he did was he offered to engage in what's called a seller finance deal, where the seller kind of serves as you're the bank. I gave him my down payment. We had an agreement where I gave him my down payment and made my monthly payments to him, which I continue to do. And I have the exclusive right to buy to own the property outright once I finish making my payments off. So that was a big barrier, but I was grateful that was able to negotiate that with the owner directly. And here we are. Second biggest barrier to the whole farming business, I would definitely say, is labor. You got to figure out ways. There's so much work involved with, especially starting a space from scratch. You need people who can till the soil, move things around. Maintenance is a big thing in growing food. So the way I was able to navigate that was just forming strategic partnerships with people in the community. The biggest way that I was able to leverage that was I created a farmer in residence program that allowed a local entrepreneur to basically grow in a portion of the space for free in exchange for them promoting and creating content in the space. And my trade-off is I have people down there in Maryland while I'm here in New York working by 9 to 5, farming the land and making it look productive. So yeah.
Okay. So those are some of the barriers that you had to, those hurdles that you had to jump over. One question, as you're talking, because I'm thinking, grow, plants. So I'm saying to myself, can you grow marijuana? Because, inquiring minds wanted to know, is that something that you can, can you be considered a ganja farmer, basically?
Oh man, not yet in Maryland at least. So it all comes back to, we've seen the legislation and the adoption in many states right now. It's happening fast, and many people ask that question to people who are farming. As it stands right now in the state of Maryland, it's you can grow. There's only a very limited amount of licenses to grow marijuana for medicinal uses only. And the people who have the access and the power to get those permits have a lot more resources than you and I and this whole podcast combined type of thing.
Hmm.
So as it stands right now, the answer is no. But is that something that I'm keeping my ear out for opportunities in the future? Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. That's dope. Is there anything you guys want to ask so far? Because I don't want to like.
I do. I have a big question. I mean, I don't have a green thumb. So my question to you is, what made you go into farming? Like, I literally, if it's not like a fake plant, it will die. My kids survive because they cry. So how did you get into farming? That is such a unique thing to do. I feel in this day and age, at least.
Yeah, well, it's kind of two things. Number one is that I've always been into and interested in healthy lifestyle and healthy living and healthy food, specifically food. So prior to this, Kev probably remembers I used to have a small juice business where I used to like
Nice.
sell, smoothies and juices, and just like always being kind of like eating a lot of salads and stuff like that. So naturally, I think that if you are that kind of person, you're gonna naturally have an interest in the production side and where it all comes from. But
Mm,
then the other side of that too is why I was motivated because I had space in a high traffic, you know, in my hometown. I just feel like it was a powerful thing to be able to grow food next to, where my mom still lives and where I grew up, in a place where it used to be, an abandoned dope house, really, in the 90s that was
Yeah,
demolished. But like, the transformation, it was really, from going that to growing food really interests me.
that's pretty cool. And I have two more questions. The next question is, what types of crops are you growing at the moment? Like, what is your specialty?
So as of 2020, for the 2020 season, I shifted all the production over to exclusively herbs, different varieties
Oh,
of medicinal herbs, just in light of COVID. And, I just figured
yeah.
that that was the most appropriate thing and high impact thing I could grow. Herbs, as far as farming goes, are a more high value crop. I'm working with such a small amount of space. It makes sense to grow things that are more so specialty and high value. So, yeah, right now it's all herbs, but I just built a greenhouse last summer, at the end of last summer. So that's going to really help me scale up and really expand. I'm going to start doing flowers and just expanding the varieties of things that I have.
Well, I'm definitely going to hit you up about my greenhouse that I plan on getting together, hopefully by this summer season.
Definitely.
My next, yeah, I'm going to need some help with that because I definitely want to grow some herbs. So that's very important to me. My
It's
next
pretty
question, and
easy too.
lastly, is do you have or have you thought about putting together some sort of program for children of the community so they can actually learn how to grow? Because I feel like some of us, especially like the millennials and the new people, up and coming, we really don't know what it takes and the type of work that needs to be put in order to grow. So I feel like it would be pretty cool. My husband, when he was a young child, he went away. There was a program called the Fresh Air Fund or something like that, and he went to live on a farm for a couple of months, and they taught him how to grow and things like that. So have you thought about any programs like that? Is that something that you're looking to do, or do you have something like that in place?
Yeah, definitely. As it stands right now, my engagement with the youth and children so far has just been like, I've had a number of kids come through with their parents for like volunteer days. But I don't have any formalized programs set up as of right now. Again, it's all about the types of community, collaboration I'm able to, get together. So it hasn't manifested quite yet, but naturally, this is definitely, something. It has to be educational, and it has been for adults. But I want to get something in place for the kids, and I want to do it right though, and be safe about it and everything. So yeah,
Of course,
it's coming. Yeah.
I think that would be pretty cool.
That's what's
That
up.
would be pretty cool. As a matter of fact, I remember, this is not really a question, but I do remember watching something a few years back, and it was basically like a vocational school. They were for women who were young, that were pregnant mothers, and they, the city or wanted to cast them out. But what they did was they had a school that taught them certain things, especially farming. And they
Yeah,
know that because they introduced the farming, they had a higher graduation rate than all the other high schools in the neighborhood because of the values and the fundamentals that those things taught them. So, is that something that you probably might want to consider providing in the future, going into the schools and saying, hey, listen, I want to try to implement maybe a farming program into your curriculum? Is that something that you thought of or might consider?
Yeah, definitely. So as far as engaging with educational institutions, I have a friend who's a landscape architect and also an adjunct professor at University of Maryland, College Park, which is very close to my farm. I've spoken for freshman class that she taught twice on two occasions, giving the presentation on my story and everything. So down the line, getting into reaching out into education is definitely something I'm interested in. I've spoken in a number of panels and different events where there was youth present, and I see how it definitely lights them up. So no question about it. I'll definitely be going that direction in the future.
Okay,
that's so cool.
that's cool. Gabe, you have any questions?
Six definitely stole one of mine, which is dope. It was actually she framed it a little bit differently because I was gonna ask if you like do any type of like seminars or anything like that as far as teaching people how to farm. So, but no, that's great. The only other question I guess I would ask is, do you have like, I know I'm sure the farming thing takes up a lot, especially since you're not really, you know, based where you're living here in Brooklyn and the farm is somewhere else. Do you have any other businesses or anything else that you're involved with, or do you have any other like hobbies that take up a lot of your time?
I mean, you know, my current full-time job with the indoor farm is, you know, it's pretty fast-paced, pretty demanding. Uh, but as far as I'll say this too is that I'm actually an advisor and an ambassador to an e-commerce app called Crop Swap, and that's something that's pretty new. I partnered up with them a few months ago. Basically, the app serves as an e-commerce platform for growers like myself, farmers and growers, smaller, more urban type people. And basically, you know, they're based in LA and they're trying to expand this to 13 different markets across the country. So given, you know, the connections that I have and kind of just the expertise in the urban farming space, the CEO kind of, you know, asked me to be an advisor to the company and also serving as an ambassador in the DC area, recruiting more growers on the app and growing the presence on the East Coast. So, I mean, you could call that kind of a side gig alongside this, but other than that, nah, not too much.
Okay.
Okay. And with one of my last question is, do you feel as an entrepreneur, you know, people don't really go into the ins and outs of being an entrepreneur and doing what it takes. So in your journey, what would you say is the best and the worst things about being, you know, an entrepreneur?
I'm going to start off with the best. Um, um, the best things about being an entrepreneur is number one, that you control your own destiny. It's a creative process. It allows you to just conceive a thought and figure out what it takes to continue and build towards making it a reality. I think that that's just a powerful process for anybody out here, whether or not you have an entrepreneurial spirit or not. Also, entrepreneurship obviously has the potential to create financial freedom for you if you are successful in it. So that's obviously a great benefit to it all. And it allows you to also meet a lot of people that you probably would not have met had you not chosen to pursue it. If even if I fail tomorrow, if my business goes belly up, I have built relationships, and I just have a huge network that I can leverage in some way or another, and vice versa. So the worst parts, I would say number one, definitely, you know, the time commitment that it involves. Like you got to be dedicated if you're going to be successful. You got to be consistent, and that all takes time and energy. You know, a lot of people can mismanage their time and you know burn out. I've done it before. So you got to be conscious of that. And I feel like the other thing is maybe one of the worst things about it. It's not really. It could be a negative depending on how you look at it. But I would say that just investing investing energy in the way of it, like for me, I'm like married. This is like a marriage that I have to my business. And if you're that kind of person that takes it that serious, however the outcome is, you'll be that much invested in it and you'll feel, you know what I mean? It can be an emotional roller coaster. It
Yeah.
can be, you know what I mean? And it can, or it can take over your life and distract you from priorities. Like it can consume your time, take you away from your family. So I
Mm.
just feel like, you know, it can be a good drug or a bad drug, but a lot of times for many people it become a bad drug. So yeah, that's my
Double-edged
thought.
sword.
Yeah.
Oh, a little smart, yeah, man. No, I thought you was gonna say the plowing. That was the hardest part. That
But
thing,
that's
I seen the videos. I'm like, I see you doing your thing. I see you in the suits with the bullet points, and you know, you're doing your thing. And then I see times where you're like, I'm like, damn, that looks
Yeah,
tough.
bro. Yeah,
You
yeah,
gotta be
yeah.
strong. You gotta be
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But look who's talking, man. Look who's talking. I need you out there, man. I seen you lift a car up
I think you
before,
would
man.
enjoy that. I think you would enjoy that.
Yeah, man. So Doug, is any last remarks, guys?
No, I think we touched on everything. We definitely got a lot of
Okay.
very informative.
Kev, I know we connected the other night and I've heard everything that you've been up to. But Gabriel and Zuri, I like to kind of hear, what you guys have cooking up outside of being part of the Champions Here show team. You know what I mean?
This is
We're laughing at six. Because
yeah, I was gonna say, like, this is why we should have done the introduction. You see? I'm 6, by the way.
Yeah, Zuri's a daughter.
That's okay. It's Zuri's Zoom
account.
Oh! I'm sorry. Okay.
No, it's not on. It's not your fault at all.
That's good for her.
Right.
That's good for
it just adds for more comedic relief.
No, that's hilarious.
That is hilarious. I like her name though. You can call me Zuri. That's fine.
Cool.
I just had one last question just for the viewers.
I think he asked you a question first.
Yeah, he was asking us what
oh, you were. I'm sorry.
He was asking us what we do. So I'll tell real quick. I'm actually almost in everything that my brother's involved in. I'm in real estate. I'm also helping him and our partner Chris out with starting up the Yacht Club. Aside from that, the only other thing I do that I've gotten myself back into slowly but surely is training. I'm trying to get back into my personal training business, which is long-term training. And aside from that's pretty much it. I'm also a swim coach. Haven't, the pool's closed for a while. I haven't done that in a while, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Man, shout out to y'all with that Yacht Club idea, man. I was telling Kev how impressed I am with that. And I mean, really, it reiterates my personal belief is that, we need and all these spaces out here. There's so many spaces where there isn't a presence of us. And definitely, like yachts and, getting into, water sports and all that kind of stuff. I'm really impressed and inspired that you guys really are trying to invest and go in that direction and starting a really dope venture. So shout out to y'all for that, for sure.
100%. Zuri, can you touch on what you do?
Of course. Well, Zuri goes to school. She's in pre-K, but me, I do, from working with the Yacht Club. I don't have a real estate license, but I'm definitely more on the consulting part of it and just, kind of talking things out with the team and things like that. Because I do have a master's in general management. So I like to dabble in that stuff. But most importantly, my interior design business, and I'm launching some product, which is going to be some handmade candles pretty soon. So you can check out Home by 6. They smell amazing. They're ready. I just, they smell great. I mean, I need more supplies so I can, because I have a feeling it's just going to blow up. So I'm almost there.
And
that's great.
Don't forget your trucking business. She flips.
And my trucking business. That's right. I have a trucking business. We flip trucks,
wow.
Semis. So
what, 16-wheelers? 16-wheelers?
Yeah.
Nice.
18.
Nice.
Yeah.
18, 22, 54, whatever wheel. Whatever.
75, 45, 36.
Yeah.
That's dope. Congratulations on the new venture and continued success. I wish you the best.
Thank you, and same for you, because that's pretty cool. I need to get my greenhouse growing this summer. I'm excited.
Yeah,
so maybe some, I don't know, peppers and definitely herbs, because I use a lot of herbs. So
start with herbs. It's the easiest thing. Yeah, let me know if you need help. I'm happy to come check out if you got a space. I'll come to, help you get set up. Let me know for sure.
I'm currently growing a romaine lettuce in my kitchen counter.
Nice.
it's
Yeah.
going well. It's going
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. It's not that
Like,
hard. Yeah.
yeah.
Also, I've done with some tomatoes. I've grew some tomatoes in my backyard before.
Okay. You made ketchup with him or what?
No, it was like it was it was like the grape tomatoes. I just
Yeah.
just use them
I
for
like those.
The little cute ones. Okay, you just pop them in. Okay. Like that. Nah, that's what's up,
On
man.
the other hand, me, years ago, me and my boy were trying to, I was a bad boy, so I wasn't growing anything edible. It was
well, technically that can become edible.
Yeah.
at the time we didn't know that. We just got the seed, threw it, put it in a shoebox, and then my boy, it wasn't really me, but it was my boy Ghost. He was really the one that was really. So I was watching. You know what I'm saying? Helping, but he did like 99% of it. But yeah, man. So Doug, I appreciate you coming on the show. Is there anyone you want to shout out?
Not really. I shout out my socials. newbrooklynfarms.com is the website. Instagram, Facebook at New Brooklyn Farms. Shout out to my team at Crop Swap. You check them out. The e-commerce app I told you about for local growers. They're on social media at Crop Swap. Cropswap.com is their website. And yeah, I mean, shout out to the DMV, my hometown, and shout out to my second home, Brooklyn, NYC, East Flatbush.
Okay, yeah, the east, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, guys, Six, you want to shout out?
I do want to shout out. Before I do the shout out, I want to ask the people, like, are you guys growing anything? Have you grown anything? Do you have a green thumb? Y'all already know I don't have a green thumb. So just let us know in the comments what you guys are up to. And if you have never grown anything, do you think you'll be growing something this summer? That'd be pretty cool to see and to kind of take a look at. So just let us know. And I just want to shout out Mad Sky Trucking, Home by Six. Check me out, Six Series on Instagram. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Oh, and my puppies. I have a new page for my dogs. I have 3 English bulldogs. So Lee Bulldogs, go ahead and take a look at their Instagram stories.
Definitely. Nice. Cool. Definitely check that out. Cool. Well, thank you guys for your time, for having me, considering me as a guest. I'm really honored to be here again, and wishing y'all all continued success in all your ventures.
I appreciate that. Just going to give a quick shout out to the audience, of course. Appreciate you guys for listening. All of our Spotify, YouTube subscribers, everybody. Shout outs to BT Group, Long Champ Training, like I said earlier. Yeah, I'll leave the rest to you, Kev.
Yeah, so big shout out to Brooklyn Cove Yacht Club because we got big boats on the water. You know that. Also, I want to have a big shout out to Moving Keys because we are moving keys. That's boat keys, house keys, car keys, any kind of keys you can think of. That's what we're doing. And big shout out to Longchamp Success, consulting, or property management, real estate also. So, and big shout out to you, New Brooklyn Farms, for coming out on the show. Appreciate you one time. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Cheers.